with this selfie thing because I don't do it a whole lot. Let's hope I do pretty decent just so I can make a little video here. But a lot of things have been going on around here lately, and I know I haven't made any videos, and I want to kind of get back into the feel of that because I actually enjoyed doing it. I just, been feeling kind of busy and just haven't really had time to do a whole lot. So I figured I'd kick it off right now because right now I've got a whole lot going on, and I figured it'd be fun to just give a little update. So, for starters, there's another truck in my life. This one belongs to the girlfriend, and we've already gotten a little bit of wrenching on it. Took the bed off because we wanted to clean up the frame, make it nice and pretty, and started working on getting this old 4-cylinder out. It's also a stick shift truck. That's going to change. It's going to be an Otto V8 4-wheel drive, and have some special that you might have noticed in the background before when I was first ranting, and that is axles. We have some squeaky van down the road. We have matching front and rear 10-bolt Chevy axles so that we can do a straight axle swap in this truck. And I think it's pretty cool because the stock rear axle on this truck is about 55 inches wide, and that rear 10-bolt is 66 inches wide, and that front axle is about 2 inches wider than that at approximately 68. So this truck is going to have about the mounting flange for the wheels will probably be just about flush with the body line. It's going to be kind of tough to fit some tires on there and still be able to turn, but I think we can figure it out. Maybe if we just poke them out all the way, they won't hit anything. I don't know. But, it's a pretty easygoing project. Truck was free. It was gifted from her grandfather. So that we could have fun with it pretty much because he got a new truck. Another thing that was happening is I started building an actual workshop out here, and I started this last weekend, got good time in on it. This was all in like 1 day's worth of work. Things were going great. I was ready to go out this past weekend and go buy the rest of the material I need to turn this into an entire room. I was going to spend probably about $300 more on crap just to make this a whole room. And then the unthinkable happened on Friday night. Something I would have never expected in a million years. It's kind of hard to see, but my transmission, here's the other part, gone and snapped itself in half. So my U-joint on the axle side of the drive shaft and that truck there, it didn't break, but it like fell apart and the cap slid off and let it drop, and when it dropped it beat the transmission and snapped the tail shaft off of it in such a way that I can't just buy a new tail shaft. And then so had to redo that, and I went to the junkyard. I picked up a 700 R4. I know it's really hard to see because it's dark. I picked up a 700 R4 for $145 with torque converter. I've already got her mounted up in the truck. I'm just waiting on a few parts like a shifter and some brackets for like the throttle linkage and the detense cable, or TV cable as they call it, because there's no vacuum modulation on the 700s. And I need a new rear U-joint. This time I bought a little bit bigger of a U-joint. Hopefully it will squeeze in there a little tighter and won't want to come apart on me. So that's fun. It's It's great. It's sad that this happened this way because, the truck, it's my daily driver. So, being that it's been down since Friday afternoon, and it is now Tuesday night, I've been without a personal vehicle for 4 days, and my parts aren't supposed to show up till tomorrow. And even then, it's going to take me till probably Thursday night to really have everything set up. Luckily, my grandparents are retired, and we were able to borrow a car from them, and it won't really affect their lives that much. But, sucks having my daily down because I love driving that truck, and it sucks not having horsepower because 400 horsepower is amazing. So, these are all things these are all projects that are going to be further seen and more videos made on them and just so on and so forth. I just thought it'd be nice to sit down, have a little talk, make a new appearance because I haven't done that in months, and just kind of maybe tease a little bit at kind of some projects that are to come. So, I'm gonna have to edit this part out because I don't know what to say. I got a lot of work left to do on this gray truck here, and though it daily drives and it's all fun and dandy, and it probably would qualify as a good enough truck to just kind of leave alone, there is a whole lot more I want to do to it, and I think I'm going to make some more videos that are very, make a lot of, not necessarily informative videos, but just kind of like progress videos on this truck. Like, I gotta change that mirror because it's ugly. About the last video I ever made on this truck was back when I was first starting it. I was first doing the break-in, I was putting in like thermostat and things like that, very basic stuff. But since then, a lot has happened with this truck. Like, now I have a real grill on there. I cut my bumper down so that's nice and pretty. Looks very pre-runner now. I really like the bumper. I just wish it had a little more support so that the corners wouldn't droop as much, which is something I will try to tackle, hopefully in a video. I have bought, it's hard to see, the front here's on 31-inch mud terrains that used to be on the rear, and then the rear is on 33-inch mud terrains, 33 by 12.5 mud terrains, which eventually I will buy a set for the front. I've taken my dash out. I'm going to build a new one of them. I don't know if I ever got footage of the dash in its original state, because it was a custom dash to start with. Want to build a center console. I've got my antennas on the truck, kind of hard to see. Basically, I want to get the truck very squared away so it's looking right and running right before I go any further with performance upgrades. Like, I want to get my 31s on, or 33s on the front, and I want to get my dash built, center console built, turn signals working, because I've never had them. Whole time I've been driving the truck, no turn signals, haven't gotten in trouble yet. Speedometer, just a whole bunch of stuff like that. Just get it squared away to where you could call it a reliable truck, and then I'll come back and start doing like long travel rear suspension, but I'm going to keep leaf springs because that's going to be different. That don't happen as much. So I want to go long travel rear on leafs. Fronts, I'm going to modify or build custom control arms, upper and lower, that gives it about 3 more inches worth of stance per side, and that will allow me to get a longer travel on hopefully factory coil springs. Well, by factory I mean Nova springs, because they're a little heavier, a little taller than the S10 springs, but they should fit right in their place if I'm not wrong. But these are all things for way down the road. Right now I got to get better than 7 miles to the gallon. Matching tires. Actually, right now, I just got to get my transmission squared away so that I can start driving it again. So, lots to do with that. This green truck, if we want to talk about the goals on this truck, it's literally probably the most broad, basic goal for, like, an end goal that we can get. Because, you know, it's not my build. I'm not choosing all the details on it. I'm picking a lot of the major components because I know better. And, you know, girlfriend's using my my knowledge. I don't have wisdom yet. I'm too young for that crap. But the girlfriend's using my knowledge to help kind of pick and choose what we're doing with this truck. And, so basically what this truck's going to do is we're going to do another small block in here, but we're going to try to keep that on pretty well bone stock so that it will always be reliable, 10 times more reliable than that one over there. We're going to do basic transmission. I don't know anything about transfer cases yet. That's something I'm going to learn, but it's going to get hopefully like a stock, like square body transfer case. Just going to pull something out of a truck that works, because those axles are out of a 86 Blazer. So hopefully I can find a transfer case that will just kind of match with the axles so that everything makes sense. I don't think it really matters if it matches with the axles, like truck that it came out of, but I feel like it'd just make my life a little easier having the same U-joint on both sides and so on and so forth, things like that. But we got to move the leaf spring perches on the rear axle so that they're narrow enough to mount on the back of this truck. And then on the front here, we have to build custom leaf spring hangers on either side of the frame so that it matches the, you can't see it on there, the width of the factory leaf spring perches on the axle, because this one is molded into the pumpkin here, and there's no way I can move that. So we're keeping it. And I've seen it done. It's not that bad. That axle on top there, if you were wondering, is supposed to go into my truck in the future so that I can have a wider stance truck and a slightly... So as I was saying before I ran out of storage space on my phone, that top axle there is supposed to go into my truck because that will give me about 7 more inches worth of stance. What am I knocking over? Radiator. I knocked over the radiator, kicked it while I was walking by. But it'll give me about 7 inches more wider stance, and it will be a little stronger than the factory axle in the S10. It is just a stock 10 bolt out of a Nova, but I'm going to re-gear it. Eventually I'm going to put a posi in it. I think the brakes are a little bigger on this one than my truck, which would be kind of sad. But parts are easier to find for this than for the gray truck, and this is cheaper to build. And for like 300 bucks I can get new axle shafts that, you know, I've heard people trust them for drag racing, and they've gone as far as, like, some guy managed to get his Camaro into the 8s on just axle shafts in a 10 bolt. So I trust it plenty enough. Now, will I be able to become a full-on trophy truck with it? Heck no. But for what I got in mind, it'll do me just fine. Majority of the time spent street driving, and then sometimes I get to, you know, I'll get to go play off-road. And plus we're in Florida, it's flat. It's not like it can find a jump anyways. So, I've got 3 axles. Eventually I'll have 2 because there's one coming out of here and one coming out of there that I get to get rid of. Don't know what else. Oh, that's the top of my original dash. It was painted black for a while. If I didn't have any footage of it, that's what it looked like, kind of, sort of. Took me a lot of time. There's like 250 some odd pop rivets in it, and I actually really liked the way it looked all the way up until I didn't like how much it rattled, because at the time of building it I wasn't very experienced. So I gotta redo that. Right now the truck's naked. It has no dash other than a little panel that holds all my switches. Well, I think that just about sums it up for everything that I have going on right now and everything that I plan to show in the future and start making videos on. So, hope to see you in the future. Hope I stick with this a little better than I did last time, because I actually enjoy doing this. Hopefully next time I'll have a little more money and be able to work on my truck the right way and not be surprised with a broken transmission. So, that's it for this one. Thanks for watching.